I am Go Die. What a name over there! But I'm just gonna call him I am, and Smoke over there just gonna block out the vision from Vindicta, so they don't really have much of an option. And I think Avius is taking this round really seriously. You can see, they have closed up most of the entrance spot. Going to be not really going to be an easy retake by Vindicta.
Well, interestingly, now we do have LOL AWOL. We'll just call him LOL.
Avor, yeah, Avor is good enough for me. But
AWOL.
washed up over there, getting a kill onto Selford, and you can see that
Looking
they
good.
Arius knows that they don't really have enough time, so Vindicta's definitely going to lose this round. But they do save a Farmas and an AK, so pretty much still quite a good economy to lose. So for like I mentioned, for formality's sake, let's go ahead and introduce the team. So on the counter terror side, we have Vindicta with I am Go Die. I'm just gonna pronounce it. I am. We have Washed Up Pleb, we have Dark Styron, and we have 96kg Kid. And on the other side, we have Arius. On the Terry side, we have Cancer, Nyx, Official NASA, Mabok, and Pessimist. Is that it's Dr. Pessimist, so let's just call him Pessimist, alright? So we see that Vindicta over here has taken up quite a good, quite standard 2-1-2 formation here. That's pretty much most of the formations that teams would go nowadays. Areas just gonna have a little bit of a slow push with the advantage that they have, but this is a semi buyout coming in from Vindicta, so I think they're feeling a little bit hurt from the previous round.
Definitely. So they do have two CZ models, one Deagle AK as well as Farmas for themselves, and of course Mayevs did manage to get the AK for himself. So he will be hopefully will be able to do something with that trusty AK. But as you can see, that we do see around 3 men that's gonna be flushed up into Banana at this point of time. Gonna be a 2 versus 3 in this current situation.
Oh,
really good flash
the
coming
flash.
in from Styron, and he'll be fighting himself against with Blank.
Nyx, yeah, I think there was a Nyx over there, but Dark does manage to get the kill over there, and it's down to a 3v1 as of now, with the advantage, or rather the man advantage going the way of Vindicta. There's a little bit of blind fire coming in from IM over there with the smoke. I think, Arius does really well with the smoke spots over here, and the timing of another smoke to ensure that, it's not an easy retake for Vindicta. They're just gonna try a little bit of a blind shot with the air. Whoa! Washed up
Mayevs
getting a really good kill there. Mayevs with that blind shot. And that's pretty much sealing the deal for Arius. Not exactly, they didn't really have the best advantage at the start. They really lost 4 men going into the bomb plant. So very well done by Vindicta over there to win that round 2. Just a reminder, Abstract, that was a semi buyout. So surprise, they managed to get that round.
Yep. So in this case, currently 2-2. So I'm quite surprised that this has been looking pretty well for Arius eSports. So we are 5 rounds in, and it's 2-2, pretty much a stalemate already. And all it doesn't seem like it's weighing in Vindicta's favor, which usually is the case.
Yep, we are definitely way too early into the game to call for any leads, but Chukiti or rather NASA getting a really early kill onto Dark. We have seen Dark in a couple of plays before. I mean, Vindicta is definitely not a stranger coming into the final week of training grounds, but we will see what Arius have to offer over here. They have the man advantage, and they are going on the triple AK lineup with a scout over there. Pretty interesting, considering that they are early in the game. Kid over there with the wall bang to pick up Mabok early. And not really early, but it's already halfway through the round itself, but that's still a really important kill going into the apartment. So now Arius pretty much have the information they need. It's a 2-1-1 formation, or rather 2-1-1 rotation coming in from Vindicta. Arius still does have the advantage though. If they do manage to break into a B side, this is pretty much they don't have the information knowing that Vindicta it's a 2-1-1. So it's still quite an open game at this point of time, but time is starting to tick down for Arius.
Looks like they're gonna go for the execute very soon. We've got the 2 smokes coming in, so one is gonna be for coils, and of course one is gonna be for a CT spot. So with that said and done, looks like they managed to get 1 kill coming from AWOL. Right, wow. Absolutely shredded everyone as from coming from Styron, managed to get a kill on Pessimist and Nyx, and with that all said and done, even though it was a 3v4 situation in B side, they still managed to hold it down pretty well. And I think that Mayevs did manage to put a pretty good rotation coming in there.
Right, but I'm I would like to point out something though. Even though Aries lost that round, I'm really impressed by the way they managed to smoke out. If you notice how Aries plays, right, they really know their smoke, their smoking spots really well. We saw the smoke coming in from Banana, and there's already 2 rounds in a row. But as I speak, Vindicta with the 2 early kills, making the 3rd over there, triple kill coming from IM, and Kid over there getting the 4th kill for his team, and they're down to a 5v1. However, Blank might be able to get a kill over here. He doesn't manage to clear up the team, and it's a 4-round advantage, or a 2-round advantage of Vindicta over here. Vindicta going really strong. This is Vindicta's map though, but Aries definitely not making it easy for Vindicta to claim the easy first map.
Definitely. So, the previous round recap, they pretty much kind of stormed right into apartments and did manage to get themselves right into Romeo and pretty much scored a pretty good free shots coming in onto second mid. So with that said and done, we are gonna expect a nade right down to mid. As you can see, we do have AWOL just go straight out. Really bold and pushy, getting 2 kills onto Chukidi as well as Nyx, but of course there will be a revenge frag coming in on that as well. But all in all, it's still a pretty good frag coming in there. 96 KG Kid getting another kill coming in onto Dr. Pessimist. So this is a problem, you see. There is some range of superiority when it comes to Inferno. If a certain team knows the map very well, the timings and whatsoever, they can, from on the CT side, you can actually push really well, despite the fact that the T side is trying to play as defensive as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. Over there, we see Vindicta strutting their stuff. And, they're starting to go out of the bomb site itself. And we saw, Kid and IM over there, they're pushing so far ahead into the map. It doesn't really give Aries much time to breathe. And even if they do so, you do see that Vindicta's rotation is just so much superior compared to Aries. But I was trying to mention something very interesting. In round 2 and 3, we saw how well Aries smoked up the maps in Inferno. They managed to smoke up coming in for Banana over there to, both times their smokes perfect. It's just that they were a bit unfortunate because Vindicta pushed out so far out that the smokes already didn't cover those blind spots. So credits to Aries for that, but as of now, Vindicta starting to gain the lead, and we do see Cancer over there coming in from the Banana. I'm not exactly sure whether or not it's the best of decisions, because we do see that I do believe it's Dark over there in the map, and he doesn't have enough time, and he doesn't have enough, like I said, doesn't have enough time to consider that, but Duck knows, and he might be going for the knife over there, and it is a knife coming in from Duck. What a kill by Cancer! That's such a flashy play over there. He didn't even consider using his gun, abstract. That's just amazing coming in from Duck.
Yeah, he's been he hit really nicely right behind triple, and made sure that he don't show himself, because the opponent gotta have to plant somehow, right? So putting out the smoke was one thing. It's not a bad idea after all. You still manage to get the plant down, but only the question is whether he's able to survive afterwards. He believed that he cleared the site, which is right. He cleared the site, just that he don't have the luxury of time to actually check every single corner right into dark into dark room or even triple. So he really didn't have much choice but to play with the smoke. In the end, pretty much get knifed. Right,
but I think that the key issue for Aries over here is that they're not exactly rushing the sites as much as possible.
That's right.
Even though they have the economy, generally as a T side, you don't really want to waste your time too much on Inferno. You have all these tight spots, and if you're wasting your time, you're giving Vindicta so much space to rotate. Not only that, when it comes to blind spot, Vindicta can just shoot you down one by one. So that's not exactly the best strategy for Aries at this point of time. But we will see what will happen as we go in later into the first half of this map. But we do see as of now Vindicta with, they're pretty spread out. 2-1-2 is quite standard at this point of time. But Aries, look at their positioning on the map. They're so spread out that it doesn't really give them much option to break into a bomb site. And we do see Dark over there picking off, Pessimist. So that's not exactly, I wouldn't say the best of decisions. Perhaps Aries might want to try switching something up, but we do see them breaking into the site over here. It's a 2-for-1. That cover coming in from IM to clear up the rest of the map, and that's what I was trying to say. Aries leaves it so late into the game that they, it's kind of like a last-minute decision to really break into the site, and when they do so, Vindicta is already there in position to really break down that rush. So perhaps Aries want to try something different. Maybe try a early banana rush, but we saw Vindicta with that molly early into the game, stopping that rush. So, Aries has to switch things up.
Yeah,
switch things up. Yeah, switch things up. Right,
at this point of time, it kind of seems like Ares doesn't really have a proper game plan. All they can think of is just gonna stay back a little bit more, but we're just gonna hold that for a little bit, as it does seem like they are going a little bit more rushy in this current game. We do have all of them, and with the CZ models and all below 50% HP. One nade coming in, or incendiary will pretty much
the
just
backstab.
And with that said and done, Mayev's gets a kill on the blank, gonna be left with Nyx. Nyx tried to cover Cancer in that point of time, but looks like he won't be able to, do quite much. He managed to get a kill, yes, but of course they can't really survive against 3-man team, especially when it's coming at a pincer movement.
Right, obviously they got themselves trapped in the banana, but that was due to the fast rotation coming from Victor. We saw a 2-1-2 formation over there, and we saw that Dark was the first one. I do believe it was Dark. He rushed so high up into the map. Or was it Kid? Yeah, I think one of them rushed into the banana, tried to backstab areas over there, but they had a drifter. They managed to pick one out, but that was the rush coming in. Not so successful for areas, but they didn't really have the economy. But that's a quick kill coming in from NASA with the wallbang to pick up Styron, and they're still trying the wallbang, but Dark is quite appropriately positioned at this point of time. He misses the first shot. We're trying to reposition himself for the second one, but Ares has the information. They do know that there's an AWP over there, so they might be a little bit careful going into this.
It looks like we're gonna get a smoke coming in right on to CD base, and looks like the T side will have 3 men rushing straight in. Cancer will go down right on 96 hit, being sprayed right through from CT side, and looks like it's gonna be a 1v5 current situation. Chu Kitty managing to get a kill right onto Dark, and he will have to fight against 96 Kid, but looks like Dr. Pessimist, they managed to cover him. And with that all said and done, it's gonna be left with 2 versus 2 current situation. I have no idea why Chukidi actually did that.
That molly. I'm not exactly sure if that's
intentional.
Yeah, that's intentional or not. But watch out, Pleb over here with the return molly. He's just gonna zone out the rest of Terry. He's gonna force them out of the side. But you see Chukidi and Pessimist clearing up the rest of Vindicta. So it's a 7-3 in the favor of Vindicta. Nevertheless, that was a really, really important win for Ares. They have been losing rounds after rounds, and you can look at the rounds that they have. Oops, sorry. Look at the rounds they have so far. You can see the train that Vindicta was on 5 or rather 6 rounds in a row. So like I mentioned, that was a really important round for Ares to gain up, rack up a little bit of economy going to this round. You can see that they can finally afford, the lineup that they want. 4 AK and 1 op. Chukiti nearly getting shot down by Dark over there, but nevertheless, Ares doing their best to make it a difficult half for Vindicta.
Yeah, it seems like Ares eSports, they pretty much know how to hold the side, when to plant the bomb whatsoever. They know what kind of maneuvers they need when it comes to the site, but the thing is they have a problem with taking the site itself. It's either they commit too much and lose too much bodies, or they just go in a little bit too late. In this current sense, Ares eSports are pretty much just trying, seem to be pretty playing a little bit defensively.
Right.
They're not chucking any incendiary through this roof right here to try to catch it on second boxes or anything. It seems like all they know is smoking on CT and smoking onto Coffin. In which case, it's not a bad thing, but they gotta rotate a little bit.
Yeah, I think Ares, but this draws a very, very big contrast, or rather a big comparison to last week's game where we saw Just Very Academy, and that's a blind shot coming from
You can't do that, 96! You can't do that the second time!
Right, that's second time in a row, like you mentioned, through the smokes onto a headshot. But we see Styron over here with an overhead view, but the whole of Ares does have no idea, and that's a free kill coming from Styron, and there might be more coming in. And the C4 just gonna back off from this. The rest of the team already did. He does have Cancer on his side though, but that's not exactly the best of support he needs. They think that the A side is open, but they do have one more member over there. Dark is in the midst of A, and Dark will clear off one. It's down to Pessimist. I think he's just gonna save up for this. 5 seconds on the clock. Not much of a chance. But like I said, this draws up such a weird comparison to last week. We saw Just Variant. In the last week, they did so well against Asylum in terms of breaking into the side, but closing out the rounds itself, it was such a hard thing for Just Variant because we saw how well Asylum rotated. In this week itself, it was such a different concept in the first map. Ares does such a good job of smoking out and holding the side once they're in. It's just that they have a little bit of difficulty breaking into the side itself.
Yep, so in this case, we do have 4 pistols coming in right on Ares eSports, and Dark, of course, will be able to get an easy snipe right onto Chuki, as well as Nyx. and he'll pretty much be fighting with the rest of the team. Right now, Siren just gonna go straight in and manage to snag himself with 2 kills, and gonna be left with Dr. Pessimist, which will be the upper of this round, and he will be successfully being able to get a kill right on the Styron. And with that said, 96, I believe that there's 96. Actually, the entire team is right there.
And he's just gonna die to the molly.
I don't think that there was any way for him to get out of the current situation.
Right,
so
he was
just
pretty much trapped. Right.
Yeah, just walking really slowly and just admitted to his death.
Right, he had to check his blind spots though, and that pretty much just, you know, allowed the molly to burn him to death. But if you look at the amount of kills on both sides, I would say, you know, Vindicta with the more balanced score sheet at this point of time, 15, 12, 8, 9, 9, 8. So pretty much every single member of Vindicta contributing to the kills. And on the side of Aries, I'm not trying to draw comparisons, but we can see that someone's trying to carry the rest of the teammate, and this is not exactly the best of way, but Dark trying those blind shots at this point of time, and washed up lab on the other side of the map. Just gonna clear up Pessimist. So the C4 once again trapped up in apartments. My
Fs is always playing very bold and aggressive, especially when it comes to CT. And with that said, I believe that he managed to get 2 easy kills from all of that. And right now, he's gonna be left with Nyx. And he will be somewhere in Boiler with his trusty CZ auto, facing with 2 men and immediately just disintegrating from Lole wall. And yeah, there goes his body and his lifeless soul, and he's gonna be left with True Kitty all the way at the other side of the map, not being able to do anything without the C4.
Right.
So I don't think that this will be nicked by Aries eSports.
Oh, definitely not. I don't think so. And as we mentioned that, you know, I don't know, the rotation is not exactly the rotation, but Vindicta is just so superior at this point of time in terms of mechanical skills. They're not really giving Aries, you know, any time to breathe, be it breaking to the side, be it in terms of rotation. Vindicta at this point of time is just acing in terms of that.
Well, to be fair, they did give Vindicta a little bit of a trouble when it comes to starting the round.
Right. Right, but that was when, you know, Vindicta had no economy. You know, they won the first round, but they gave it away to Aries, and then Aries managed to clutch onto a little bit of hope. But you can see at this point in time, Vindicta starting to make their Vindicta starting to make their mark on this, you know, map itself. But Myers over here with the risky, risky rotation coming out, but he does get picked off by Pessimist, and you can see Kid over here carrying the rest of the team. 3 kills for Kid, and could be more. Where he may get the last kill, he does get the last kill over here, nearly getting, you know, the ace coming in for Kid. My oh my, that's 4 kills, and you can see the economy difference, just the amount of superiority coming from Vindicta.
Yeah, so even still, they did manage to get an equal round in the previous round, and hopefully that they will be able to get a full buyout in this case, and they will. They will get full buyouts, all AKs, a single AWP, and a single 96 kit just stoning somewhere. And with that said and done, they have all utilities out as well. So hopefully that they will be able to, you know, grab this game by the neck all over again. But well, AWOL is the one that's going to be playing aggressively in this case right now, trying to get a snipe battle coming in against...
Oh, that shot through! That shot through the windows over there. With IM getting the kill over there, and the rest of the team Nyx. And this might be the round for Aries. They do manage to pick up 3 kills. The B side is open and is up for grabs for Aries, and you can see the rotation still coming in a little bit slow, but the information has been passed.
Because of the C4, it's going to be a lot of trouble for them, and looks like 96 Kid will be able to spot that out, gets a kill onto him, and looks like the Spray City coming in from Chu Kitty will be able to get himself 1 kill and put himself in a completely different scenario against 96 KG Kid. So without the C4, because they pretty much just dropped the C4 and just scattered and run everywhere and anywhere they want, and this is always an issue, not knowing when to bring the C4 with you, because you don't want to donate the C4 to the opponent's side, right?
Right.
So with that said, oh, that pre-fire though.
That pre-fire almost getting both members over there, but he changes to the molly, but True Kitty managing to win the last round for Aries. And if you do not know, and if you know any of the local community are chasing these teams, you do realize that 96 kg is Lenny. Yep, I just knew that too, coming from production. So I have no idea why. I have no idea why these players want to change their names. I think Lenny is quite nice, but I think maybe he realized, you know, putting himself on the weighing skill 96 kg, you know, he's still a kid. So yeah.
I mean, well, thanks Lenny. That would using your name would have made things.
Would have helped, you know. It would have helped us. I'm just saying, it would have helped us.
Say 96 kg kid like 5 times fast.
Nope, I'm not even going to try that. You can try that for those viewers
It's
at
at
home.
least entertaining.
You want to try
It's
that,
the
you can
most
go
entertaining.
ahead. If
No,
Abstract wants to
no.
do it, if Abstract wants to do it, he can do whatever he wants, but I'm not going to do it. But we are going to the second round.
96 kg.
Right, there you go. I think I just proved my point of why I'm not doing it. But we are in the second half of the map, and we do see that they have switched sides, and Areas eSports, hopefully they do better on the CT. Vindicta with a commanding lead as of now, 11-4, but it's still not the end of the road. But we do see Vindicta with a form up over there, and the round now coming from Pessimist. One already killed onto Myers, but they have starting to make a little bit of progress. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so let me see it in the library itself. Dark managing to get one kill, and Cancer missing all these shots.
Cancer!
Will he change to the knife?
To your knife!
He doesn't. Lenny getting the second kill onto Cancer over there, and there's a 2v3 at this point of time. Dark managing to pick off Nyx, and it's a 2v2. True Kitty and Pessimist being zoned out of the spot, but there's an accurate kill onto Dark over here. Lenny over here not making a mistake, but he does spot Pessimist, bringing Lenny down to 40 HP. It's such a close call at this point of time. 7 HP.
Lenny! Come on!
We don't know what will happen as of now, but Lenny over here
That
with that
B-hops.
smoke. Dr. Pessimist gonna smoke out Lenny at this point of time. Will he go for the fake defuse? He does, but he has no idea where Lenny is. And will Lenny have the bird's eye view as to where he is? And he runs it off, only getting one shot.
Does he have a kit? I don't think. No, he doesn't have a kit. And just get a pistol shot right in his face.
But I mean, that's well done by
9
Lenny over there. He does get picked off, but he has bought enough time so that Vindicta does get the round. And this is a big round. That's a very, very big round for Vindicta, because this means that the next round should be, by logic, a follow through.
That didn't went through for the previous round.
Yep, that's what I said. By logic.
By logic.
By logic, this should be an easy round for Vindicta.
12 is to 4 current situation. Vindicta will be leading with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8 kills.
Right, 8 kills, so.
I mean, 8 kills, 8 wins.
Right,
should have changed.
math with Abstract, guys, math with Abstract. But here we have it, it's a 4v4 at this point of time, and I would say Vindicta having the little bit of a slight advantage in terms of mental going to this match. And I am over there spray and pray like you mentioned, but it's not going to pick up the kill. But my hair's going to clean up the job coming in for IM. And it's a 4v3 at this point of time, the rotation coming in from Areas.
I'm telling you this, he's definitely going to get a kill.
Hopefully he does so, but it's a 4v3 like I mentioned, and you can see the health of Areas not exactly the healthiest at this point of time, but Pessimist going in, and he's just gonna spray through the smoke. Maya's getting one kill. Unfortunately, the man advantage not enough for Areas.
Yeah. Well, at least Cancer did manage to get a kill for that. 13 is 4 now. Round 18 in, and Vindicta just need 3 more wins.
Right, 3 more wins
3, right?
did, so
Yes.
I'm not gonna make predictions as of yet, but I favor Vindicta going into this.
Yeah, based on the fact that Areas eSports do not have any economy for this round, it's kind of automatically concede this round.
Right.
So Vindicta is pretty much 14 is to 4. It's safe to say that it's 14 is to 4 now. And Lole Wall just probably gonna go straight in, spray and pray. Hopefully that Areas don't. What? Dr. Pessimist get a kill on the Styron, and I believe that he managed to get himself a Mac 10. And well, what about, let's talk about surprise. Let's talk about surprise again.
I'm not gonna make
Let's
predictions,
talk about
but then
surprise
Vindicta over here with a 3v1, and Nyx, it's all on his own, and he's not exactly going to be able to stop this, rotation coming in from Vindicta, and they're just gonna plant into B. And you can see that the rest of Vindicta already is straight off the map. They're just gonna hunt down Nyx at this point in time.
Now Nyx with his trusty Mac 10. Do you think that he will be at least being able to get a kill?
Well, I'm not sure, but
that's a yes! Spray! No, why didn't...
I don't know, Abstract. You have to complete your sentence. If not, I'm just gonna guess what you're trying to say over here. Nyx, you're just gonna
part of a meme. You stop midway of your sentence.
Oh no, not like Nyx over here in the banana, trying to get a kill over here, but
kill?
he will get spotted out by the blind side. He misses those important shots, and IM will be able to clean up this round. 14 is to 4, and we. 14 is to 4. It's a 10 round advantage from Vindicta, looking so strong going into the Terry side of the map.
All right, so Lenny does have money to get himself a gun, but I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit slow, but in the end, let's take a look at Areas eSports economy, shall we? So we got 2 farmers, 2 M4s, and of course 1 AWP coming in from Dr. Pessimist, and it looks like he's just gonna go straight in right onto Patio right here. And we do have economy set up right now, and all of the players are gonna put themselves right onto Banana. And with that said and done, we do have this incendiary going on, and of course Blank as well as Chukiri is just going to make full use of their incendiaries as well as smoke to buy as much time as possible. Lenny goes down to Dr. Pessimist with that trusty AWP, and we have a push coming in, and looks like AWOL will not be able to defend himself as there is a pretty good fight coming in from Chukiri. He himself, one man, managed to kind of block in the entire group by themselves. Dark, Styron, and Maiev is pretty much stuck in Banana now. And
definitely.
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether they have gotten all the information needed. Maiev goes straight in, managed to get a kill right on the Blank, and coming straight up, surprise, and gets a kill onto Chukiri now. And they have the entire side of B for themselves. And I don't understand why Cancer, Nyx, and Pessimist is still kind of stuck in A. I'm fine with them being in A, but at least be in a position that is easier to maintain.
Oh, my ass over there with that accurate, headline, but he does no idea where the members of Aries, and he will get backstabbed over here. Nyx managing to pick up the kill, and that's a good win for Aries. Unfortunately for Vindicta, that was such a hard fought battle breaking into the
hard
side.
fought battle for Maiev. He's the only one to get a kill.
Right.
But even still, good play coming in from Vindicta. They almost got the side, but they almost won the round. 14-5, and they are going in with 4K gold. I think that they can kind of go for a semi-buy thing.
Right. And I would say, at this point of time, Vindicta looking so strong in this first map itself. And, if you've not known already, they are so strong, they are undefeated at this point of time.
Really?
So, yeah, they are undefeated at this point of time.
course.
Their first match they played against Asylum, they won 16-11 and they won 16-2. And then in the second week, which was the fourth week for training grounds, they won against Jasmine Academy in a stomping 16-1 and 16-0. So,
I remember that.
yeah, so that was how strong Vindicta was,
And Aries managed to pick up 5 wins against them.
Right. I mean, I'm not exactly going to count the amount of rounds they managed to pick against them. I'm looking more as a whole. And I think Aries, looking at their form, I was really impressed going early into the game. But Vindicta has started to find their ground. They've started to, make this map their, I'm trying to avoid the B word over there, but that's how good they are in this, Inferno. But as I said, Aries over here just gonna make me eat my words at this point of time. They're putting a little bit of resistance over here, and up in the parts is where all the action is. You can see 4 men stacking up for Vindicta up against, prepared to infiltrate that apart.
And there we go. Looks like Incendiary is just going to be popped right onto Boiler. And we have the rest of the team pretty much just hiding in carpets. And I think that one of them is at least going to pop the smoke, pop the flash right on the chimney. Right? Someone do something. One man, Nyx, is just going to be right below our balcony waiting anxiously for the players of Vindicta. In this case, we do have 2 men in here, almost lighting the Molotov, and there comes the smoke. This is the time.
He's gonna look away. He thought that was a flash, but that just allowed the terrorists to gain a little more advantage going into the site itself. And you can see that the whole of Vindicta is just slowly edging their way into the site. And the rotation coming from Aries, I would say, is still a little bit slow at this point of time. You can see 2 members. Oh, and I forgot to put that offline. You can see White and JPEG logging in. But ignore that, ignore that. Just focus on my voice. You can see the whole of Vindicta going in. They're going to pick up a kill onto Nyx. That's a double kill for him. And Cancer going down. And Doug just going to push out to Library. Getting a third kill. He's on a roll. And Mabok just going to save. My oh my.
Wow. Mampus.
Mampus indeed. You can see. Oh, that threw me off so bad. Mampus. Steam, I would say, for Aries and Vindicta. Just gonna ride away this round, and we will go into match point in a matter of seconds.
Wow, that was literally the kind of one-liner that you want to put out. Mampus!
Oh, shook is the word I will use for Vindicta abstract. Shook. You can see that they have such a, it tastes so sweet when you manage to break into the side after such a long wait, and managing to clinch the round makes it even sweeter. And what can I say? Things are just going in the way of Vindicta. In terms of rotation, in terms of in terms of teamwork, coordination, they're just out-edging Ares in every single way. And I want to say, that round was pretty much won by Duck. Managed to break 2 into the side, and he pushed up, managed to pick off Nyx over there. And that was pretty much what won them that round.
Right, so this is pretty much the match point now. All Vindicta needs is one win to close out Inferno, and then we'll move to Mirage very, very soon.
Right,
Hopefully.
but that's not even the case. Look at Ares, the amount of economy they have at this point in time. It's not even healthy going into the last round. So this is, like you mentioned, it's going to be hard for them. And Lenny already getting a kill onto Cancer. The whole of the T side just got sprayed out, but Nyx just get a kill in the middle as when they are split up in a 3-2 formation. But Dark getting a kill onto Pessimist at this point of time. They do know that it's a one-man Nyx breaking into the side.
You can't do that, Dark!
And Dark will be able to get that kill that brings Vindicta down to a 4v2. And Marble is down to him, but Vindicta will be able to close this round out. And the first half, or rather the first map of the day, not really day, night if you're watching locally in Singapore, the first map of the night going in the way of Vindicta. 16-5. Nevertheless, well done to Ares. They tried their best, but we will be heading into a short little break, I would say, going before we head into the second match, which would be Mirage.
Yes, that's right. So, well played to Vindicta. Of course, Ares did a pretty damn good job.
Right. Obviously, they put up a little bit of fight, especially early into the first half of the map. We saw, and I was commenting on how well, Ares had the smokes up. And I was really impressed by the smokes. Obviously going to Banana, they had a lot of smokes, and that just zoned out Vindicta. But when it came down to mechanical and rotations, Vindicta was just so quick, and that just, broke Ares' train.
I think one thing as well is that Vindicta is kind of slowly understanding how Ares play.
Right.
The first few rounds they managed to play, and then they throw their CT smoke, and then they throw coffin smoke, and then they kind of did it repetitively. And I think eventually Vindicta kind of there's a pattern in it. They played around it, and in the end they tried to go aggressive on Romeo onto second mid instead. So that pretty much Myevs did a lot for a lot of rounds.
We saw how well Dark and Myers were personally in terms of mechanical skills, in terms of rotation. You can see the confidence that Vindicta had in their map choice. They were pushing so far out that it just caught Ares out in so many levels early into the game. And when you go into late, knowing that you've lost so many rounds, it does affect the team mentally. So maybe that played a little bit of factor. I'm not sure how well Ares can hold their ground, but this is the first week, or rather the last week of training grounds for them. But nevertheless, we will have more action coming up for you, like we mentioned. If you are watching, this is Training Grounds. I'm Ares. I'm not making this outro, this is Ares at Abstract, but we will catch you in a little break after this.
We'll see you in a while. Okay, we are
Oh,
finally
oh,
back.
oh, 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 whoa, 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 nobody heard anything. Okay, hey, mind, don't anyhow talk, this kind of thing. But we are back with training grounds and we will be into the second map. Cannot laugh abstract, you know. I didn't know I was on mic, okay, I'm trying to be professional over here. But we are going into the second map of the day, which is Mirage. No, I wasn't complaining about chat, this is a good chat, okay. I'm not going to say your name, but this
Moving on, we are going.
yeah, it was a chat, it's just that you know, shift up there. But we are into the second map of the day, which is Mirage, and we are in between, you know, not in between, or rather, Vindicta is up against Ares, and we saw in the first, you know, first map how well they did. So we are going to Mirage, which is Ares map. So hopefully they will be able to achieve some results compared to the first half.
Right, so on Mirage now, of course, this is Ares' pick of the map.
Right.
So hopefully that, you know, instead of you know, getting like 5 wins, hopefully the Ares will be able to, you know, pick up a fight against Vindicta, and maybe, you know, if honestly, if they were to, you know, pick against Vindicta like quite a lot, even if they win Vindicta in this match, it will mean a lot.
Right, it will definitely mean a lot, and it's a booster going in for Ares because so in the first map, it's not exactly like, you know, Vindicta didn't really have the skills, or rather Ares didn't have the skills. It was just that, you know, Vindicta did so well about holding their ground, especially on the counter-terry side. So that was what gave them the thing. But we do say the teams are going into the knife match, so let's jump right in. And if I'm not wrong, yeah, Vindicta has won knife match already. So it's down to them whether or not they want to go on the T side or CT side. If I were them, I'll definitely choose the T side first, you know. Get a little bit of rounds, rank up, a little bit of kills. But I do believe Sure was the one that said that she would prefer on the CT side.
Well, for me, I don't really have a preference.
Right.
I don't really have much. Like, I don't really hate, I mean, I don't hate Mirage, but I prefer not to play it. Mainly because the mid control is very, very important.
So important, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, the mid and most games nowadays are always important because you get a lot of control, and especially in Mirage, you know, you go from the underpass and you have, you know, connectors. So there's a lot of control, or rather fight for control with mid, because that's where the terrorists can really rotate really quickly into both sides, and this just poses so much problem for, you know, the counter terrorists. In this case would be Vindicta. So they have chosen to be on the CT side. And we do see Lenny over here with the solo caretaker of this, you know, A side. And we do see, I think it's going to be a rush from Ares, but they are starting to do a little bit of a slow push at the start, going to apart.
So this is going to be a slow crawl coming in from Ares eSports, and they are going to go for the flashes incoming, and really good nade coming in will be able to get a hit on the Cancer as well as Blank, but Blank is just going to go down as well as Cancer. Styron will go down as well, and it's Hyperion will be... Hyperion? Where did that name come from? But either way, looks like Dr. Pessimist just came in and managed to get a pretty good hit himself, and Dark getting a kill onto Hyperion as well. Now he's going to be left with Dr. Pessimist. Hopefully that he will be able to win the one-on-one standoff against one another, and looks like Lenny as well as Dark did manage to play the cards well, to the point that they kind of have to force him out of his current location and, you know, engage in a 2v1 instead of a 1v1v1.
Right, it is a first win for Vindicta, or rather the first round for Vindicta, and this is an important round because we will see the map control going in the way of Vindicta with that amount of economy. Once again, Lenny the only sole caretaker, but we do see a little bit of support coming in from Myers. He's changing to Mia for this round for no apparent reason.
They like to change the name. Well, there is a lot of flexibility and freedom that you can do. But either way, Styron is going to meet up with Blank. Blank with the instant 1 dig right onto Styron's face. And they're going to be left with Dark, AWOL as well as Lenny right here. It's just going to be a 1v1 in terms of scout gameplay against Dr. Pessimist. And I think that Dr. Pessimist is on a pretty good spot right now, possibly getting a kill very soon. AWOL getting a kill on the Blank, and as well as Hyperion just gonna go straight for the next one. Gonna go for a pop flash, and there we go. Because, well, he does have the C4. I don't think that he really needs to, you know, push out and, you know, force that kill that much.
Not, you know, AWOL over here doing so well while watching over the C4, and I think he managed to kill 3 members before, or no, 2
Two
members, right? So that really stopped the push coming in from Arius. Other side of the map, Lenny
Surprise!
gonna pick up the kill, and AWOL over here with 3 kills on his own. When he pick up the 4th, but Lenny with a quick rotation coming in from the T base to clean up the round for Vindicta. So like I mentioned, that round wasn't really a surprise win for them. They had so much economy and they did so well about holding on the site.
Well, so far I think that we are seeing Vindicta in a 2-1. No, 3-1-1?
It's more like a 3-1-1 formation at this point of time. We do see that Lenny was always the sole caretaker of A, but this time round they are just going to split up as much as possible. It's more like a 1-1-1-1 at this point of time. And we do see the rush coming in from Arius, the gunning down coming from Vindicta. Is that a team kill? I spot, but it isn't. Lenny going in with that, or rather blind spray, and he does pick up a member, and Marble might be able to get a dive over there. And we do see Hyperion managing to get a kill, and that's a really important economic kill coming in from Arius. It's a 2v1, but the C4 is down. But he does jump on the run, but he will get picked off by, AWOL over there. So unfortunately for Arius, a little bit of excitement coming for Hyperion for the 9th kill, but nevertheless, that round goes in the way of Vindicta.
Yeah, Hyperion was kind of going very, very,
ninja.
No, not ninja at all. He's like active, jumping around, breaking the vents, and then I think because of the vents, that's why the Styron looked up and fired a shot. If not for the vents, I think that he could possibly get an easy nick off a headshot right on the side.
He could have just done the slow push. He was making a little bit of too much noise there, but he just hack it. He's just having so much fun, so that's probably what he was doing.
Yeah, it does seem like he's having fun.
He's probably hyped up from the 9th kill he got over there.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we are going into round number 4, and this is where Lenny is starting to push out a base on that M4 of his. 2 kills for him already early into the round. And you can see the rotation coming out. Wait, we get the third one.
Lenny.
He just runs out of ammo at the point of time, and Hyperion will be able to pick up that kill. And it's a 4v3 in the favor of Vindicta at this point of time. You can see Arius being shook. You don't really know where to go at this point of time. They've given away so much information and lost so much time in the process. Vindicta with the rotation. You can see AWOL in such a good spot at this point of time. He's just gonna hold up into the house, not allowing Arius to push out even out of their base.
Yeah, but of course Lenny did a very, very terrific job at shutting down their execute, because well, if they were to be able to kind of execute in, throw in all the flashes whatsoever, it would definitely take off one or more than one body.
Right. He managed to clear 2 members over there down at the alley, so that doesn't really give much space to Arius anymore. He really shut down the A rush. And you can see, what's that? I do see a creep up coming in from AWOL. Will he be able to spot Blank over there? But he will be able to back kill, but he misses that first shot. But Marble gets killed by the second one, and Nyx will get picked off before picking off Styron. So that's still a dominating round coming from Vindicta, and that was such an important round. Look at the amount of economy that
I don't think so.
have.
Yeah,
I don't think they will be able to afford a full buyout.
And Deagles probably, knowing them, they're probably gonna buy CZX and Deagles. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're just gonna go for straight that.
CZX is definitely the way to go. And if you don't know, I
think they're gonna rush.
But there was a new update coming in for CS today, and we are spotting a new gun, or rather, reintroduction of an old gun coming in. And so you can actually change it out. But nevertheless, we see them once again shutting down into Tatanos. Will there be a third kill? But he gets shut down by Marble
1 HP!
With 1 HP.
Lenny goes down right after getting 2 kills right into his pocket, and Mia's just gonna go for another one. Successfully get a kill on the Nyx, but of course Dr. Pessimist will be able to close that out and get the kill on the Mia. Maevs. I'm just gonna call you Maevs. And in the end, looks like even they killed Maevs and Lenny, they didn't really manage to get the weapons or try to save it or anything. It's because, well, Vindicta is just playing a lot more aggressively.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we saw how well Vindicta did really well in the first map in terms of holding the site. But now look at the amount of flare coming from Lenny, pushing so high up into the map itself, and managing to get so many important kills before the rush even sets in for Arius. So he's pushing even faster than the Arius is pushing into the round. But at this point of time, Vindicta have all the cards in their hands. They pretty much have Arius in such a tight spot. But you can see Lenny once again pushing out into even further than Palace. So that's something that Ares have to consider, you know, perhaps trying to beat him into one more, just giving up A completely. Not exactly the best decision, but at this point in time, they have to settle for it.
Surprise! And there will be one kill for Sensor onto A-wall and just gonna go straight in for the execute. No, looks like there's gonna be a fake. There's gonna be a fake, and Styron will be still hopefully and waiting right by Vance. And in the end, we do have Maevs actually pushing up, being as ballsy as possible, like he always is, and getting a kill right in the mid, and just gonna slowly creep his way back to B short. And does seem like Ares eSports just gonna lean slightly towards to A with one man already in Palace, and the rest of the team gonna go straight down to T Cave, hopefully, and
Right.
looks like they're gonna go for the execute after all.
Right, and this is, you know, at this point of time, Ares just have to go for Hail Mary. They need to rack up some economy for themselves, and they will be trying to go to A.
There's one kill onto Lenny, and of course Dark will be able to pop himself right in and get the kill with the AWP right on the blank, and Cancel almost getting those kills, and Dark is really low in HP. In the end, Dark with the evasive maneuver and managing to get the kill onto Cancer. Despite the fact being in all of that smoke, 2 smokes, one right on jungle and one right on top of stairs, and he still managed to kind of maneuver his way.
Right, that was such a, you know, I wouldn't say flair, but he just did it. He made it look so easy, right? But then at this point of time, you know, like I mentioned, areas have such a tight spot. You know, they don't really have a clear strategy going into the T side. This is their map after all, so I'm not exactly sure as to whether or not is it Vindictor, but we do see Dark give the first kill.
Of course, Dark with his trusty AWP will always make himself at least a single kill. Styron comes in with a good backup, but in the end, Dark completely misses, and Blank will be able to get a kill on the Styron and Dark. And whoa, what is this change of game? Suddenly, Maevs did manage to get a AWP, get himself a kill on the Blank, but in the end, it's going to be a 2v2 current situation. But of course, Hyperion himself is going to be low in HP as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I think that was such a fast, you know, fast pace coming in from Ares. You know, they won the mid control, picking off 2 members over there in the nest, and then suddenly they just dropped the intensity, you know.
Yeah.
I think it was
like,
because due to Vindictor rotating really, really quickly. But once again, the mid control in Vindictor's hand, but that doesn't matter because it's a 2v2 at this point of time, and Ares, you know, they are trying to sneak their way into the A side, and we can see Persimius already checking his blind spots. I think that's a really, really good habit when it comes to good players. You know, you try to check as much blind spots as possible, try to clear out, make sure that, you know, you don't get backstabbed. But, you know, try not to spend so much time because it allows the CT to, you know, creep back into the... Yeah, it allows them to creep back into the
they have the information now. Dr. Pessimist definitely have the information, gets killed on the Maevs right here, and looks like Lenny is going to be the one coming in straight right on the Palace, and I don't think that he'll be able to do anything against them. And knowing Ares eSports, whenever they get the bomb plant,
right,
or they get, you know, the site,
right,
they know exactly where to go for.
They do so well in protecting the site itself,
Yes.
and this is where we might see, you can see that they got their angles covered.
Well
Nevertheless, oh, Lenny.
That transfer though, not just gonna go straight for the Molotov right on the connector, and I don't think that he'll be able to do quite much with the amount of things going on, but look at the defuse, and of course, getting the kill right on the Hyperion. And though I'm questioning, would it be the right way to actually go straight down into connector? But either way, Lenny did a really good job. He knew exactly where the opponent was. Okay, so he see one guy at CT, right? And obviously the next one probably is gonna be at connector, right?
Right.
He threw everything. He literally threw everything into connector and just prayed for the best.
Right, I'm starting to question Ares in terms of the decision making over there at that point of time, because I know he heard, like, you know, Lenny going for the defuse, but he had so much time, he shouldn't have just, you know, appeared immediately after that defuse.
That's true.
Yeah, and we do see a stack up once again coming from Ares. Ooh,
Well
one
played
shot.
from Styron. Good support.
That early kill coming from Styron, and you can see that Ares are halted.
And looks like everyone is gravitating towards B side, and Styron managing to get a kill right on the Cancer, just gonna look for the next one right onto Blank. And of course, Lole Wall is just going to be hiding himself right onto... Wow! And they actually managed to disintegrate the entire team of Ares eSports.
5-0, no casualties on the side of Vindictor, and finally, you know, I do believe Ares have caught a timeout. So this is actually a good time, you know. The thing about, you know, more amateur teams is that they don't really have a timeout. They don't really know when to call a timeout. And I think this is a good point for Ares to really regroup and, you know, really settle down and try and figure out why they're starting to lose those first 8 rounds. You know, in my opinion, I think Ares takes too long to break into sites, and even when they do so, you know, they are going through B when Vindicta have so much economy. I would say they're a little bit unlucky, you know. At that point of time, Vindicta had 3 men guarding B, while most of the time, and that's the strategy that Vindicta have been going for most of the rounds. You know, they put a 3-1-1, or you know, they put a 3-2, 3-2-0. I'm not 3-2-0. I mean 3-1-1. So Lenny not exactly backed up by his teammates. So that's something that Aerial should have picked up at this point of time. They should have realized that time and time again they are being stopped by either Lenny pushing out or just getting gunned down by Apartment. So they have to have that change in mentality. They have to go for the A rush. I'm not sure whether they've realized that. But A side, it's always open. There's always only Lenny guarding the side. So if they do manage to pick up the kill onto Lenny, they can actually go for the fast push going to A. But that's the issue. Lenny has been so on his game. You can look at 10 kills over there, 4 deaths only. So he has been such on fire that it's not allowing Ares to really have that opportunity to break into A.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of devastated from the previous execute they did on A.
Right.
So in the end, they just decided to whoa.
He's taking so much damage over there.
Well, in the end, looks like Dark is just going to go straight for the push, and he successfully managed to get a kill onto Nyx, and I believe that was a backstab as well. He just pushed straight in from Nest, going down to underpass, and then coming straight up, getting that kill, nicking in. And it does seem like the fact that Ares eSports, I think that they had firepower, of course, they know what they're doing, but I think that when it comes to like, you know, going to enter a site, like before they enter the site, they need to in this case, okay, like I said about firepower, even though they are on pistol at the point of that kind of range, I don't think that they are supposed to miss everything onto Dark.
I'm not sure, man. I mean, that was at that perfect opportunity. They were pincering Dark down.
Yeah, that was that was kind of a 15 degrees turn and then a 90 degrees turn. No, I mean 180.
I think that adds up to 180.
Yeah,
if my math isn't wrong. Like
nah,
90
I think that was
90.
I think that was more of
no,
okay,
90 plus 180. So that's like a 270.
270.
Yeah, that's a 270 maneuver over there.
That's right.
By Dark, but nevertheless, he has been brought down. It's a 4v2 at this point in time, and Pessimist going to the side.
Looks like Pessimist just gonna go straight in, hiding in the smoke. Gets an easy kill. Round to Maevs. Well played coming from Dr. Pessimist, and he's gonna face against 2 men now. And in the end, not being able to do anything for himself. And it's gonna be a 9-0.
That dominating lead coming in from Vindicta. 9-0 indeed. And in the 10th round, you know, we have to give Ares a little bit of break. You know, that was the eco round for them, and they had that pause, so they have already started to, you know, I prefer that round. Even though they were ecoing, they didn't really rush stupidly into it. They managed to pick up 1 or 2 important kills for them. So that was really, really important, but we finally see that split up coming from Ares. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not they are going for the A rush or they're going for the slow push. I think they just want, you know, play this round slow, wait for Vindicta to make a lot of mistakes, or rather as much mistakes as possible. But at this point of time, I really don't see Vindicta doing those silly mistakes. You know, we saw how composed they are when it comes to holding sides, and that smoke is so good. It just shuts down Palace, you know, 30 seconds into the round. So Ares already shut off on Palace for another probably, you know what, give or take 20 seconds. So that just gives Ares, you know, rather Vindicta so much time to rotate. Oh my ass.
Well, look at that. Maevs saw the side shoulder and immediately got himself away and into the boxes, and of course making Hyperion miss his shot, and of course Maevs with the AWP getting the 1-shot kill right onto Hyperion. Now this is the difference about Vindicta and Ares eSports. One of the reasons that Vindicta is constantly winning is because that they are always 1 man ahead, and the reason they are 1 man ahead is because it's either Dark, Maevs or Styron with the AWP getting the first kill, like slowly bring down the numbers. So in this case, just all the numbers are slowly going down, and Ares eSports really couldn't do anything at the point of time. So right now, Nyx gonna be all alone right here in the apartment, trying to get a kill, managing to get a kill on the lolly wall, and just gonna put himself right on the side without the C4. This is the problem with Ares eSports as well. They like to push in the side without the C4, and of course Tyron just goes straight in and gets the kill on the Nyx.
Right, and once again Vindicta with that dominating round. They didn't even lose much at this point of time. 10-0. And I don't know, man, you know, the way that Vindicta is doing so well, it's like they know where Aries is at every single point of time, and
They pretty much know the common areas of the common areas of areas. Get it? Okay, so the common spots are what areas will always play, and their oppers are always making the first kill and always making sure that they make the 5k well worth. Now it's gonna be left with LOL AWOL and Styron, even though they is 2v3. With the AWP, I'm pretty sure that they can make full use of the AWP and hopefully being able to get a couple of kills as well.
oh, Styron, they managed to spot, but Nyx is all alone mid. I think that's very good because he pins down any coming from mid.
Oh, why didn't you reload? No, well, that is one of the reasons that Aries eSports still have lots to learn. But either way, really good nade coming in from Dr. Pessimist actually, and instant dinks with the pistols right there. And LOL AWOL just gonna slowly make his way up, and looks like Dr. Pessimist will be able to get a kill on Styron, and LOL AWOL is gonna be stuck, and Dr. Pessimist being the hero of this game, and will be able to get himself out of the 0 mark. And that will be 10-1.
Finally, the first round for Aries on Mirage, and maybe this is just the turning point that they need. You know, this is such an important round in terms of, you know, psychological warfare, and it's not exactly the healthiest state of mind going into 10-0, but that was such a strong fight back from Aries. Yeah, it is a nice knife indeed. I almost said knife.
It looks like there's a mesh in the knife. But never mind, putting that ahead and aside, Hyperion will be able to get a kill on the Styron. So really good job here. Now, Aries eSports is finally making the first move, whereby they are able to get like the first kills, and that is actually really important, which is one of the things that I stated out there. And now, unfortunately for Aries eSports, blank will go down and the body count will tally up right now.
Oh, a lot of action going to mid.
Maya's getting a kill in there as well, and that was a tag.
Right.
That was a tag on the Dr. Pessimist. I believe that was kind of true wall as well, so he wasn't able to get much kills. Just gonna much of a kill onto Dr. Pessimist. The pre-fire right on the same exact spot. And of course, Dr. Pessimist is no fool. He will not stay in the same place.
Definitely. I mean, you know, the amount of, you know, despite the fact that Aries are on the losing end, I think that but
it was
Maya's
close.
getting the
It was
early kill.
really close.
He got that pre-fire shot down. Maya's not making a mistake there, but like I was saying, you know, I think despite Aries losing, we cannot doubt that they have a certain level of standards when it goes into playing with them, and they definitely have that knowledge. It's just that Vindicta is just outplaying on so many levels.
And of course, firepower definitely have to be changed.
Right, definitely. I think Aries have to change something up, but they are just, you know, at this point of time, I would say, you know, Vindicta are so confident.
Vindicta is really strong in terms of, like, they know what they have to do. Plus, they have very good mechanical skills as well.
Right. They have the skills to back up, you know, what they want to do in terms of flare, whether or not it's pushing out of the side. But we see Lenny here not buying anything or taking a little bit of damage. I think that was a little bit of jokes coming in from Vindicta. But, oh, interesting strategy coming in for Aries. I think it's a push.
Right on to B shot in this kind of situation, and of course Myers will be able to get a kill right on the Nyx, and I think that they won't be able to do quite much. Myers, wait, what? I wasn't able to keep up. My bad. But in the end, Vindicta managed to smash the Aries eSports right down into the gutter. And with that all said, Aries eSports have no economy whatsoever. I mean, they have economy, but low. They're gonna go for a forced buy right here with a couple of AKs, some utilities as well, with Nyx only wielding a CZ auto.
Right, I think that it's not exactly a half buy. I would say you know they are trying to stop Vindicta in the push, but
gets a kill.
Oh, the kills coming in A side.
Whoa, Nyx dealing quite a lot of damage right on the Dark End Styron. And all gonna left with Dr. Pessimist and Blank, and beautiful nade coming from Dr. Pessimist. Of course, there comes the incendiary, and unfortunately wasn't able to do anything. And I suggest Blank. Actually, I can't really suggest anything. I don't really have anything for him. But either way, he gets a kill on Styron. I suggest him to actually jump over now. Damn. But in the end,
through the smoke, that was a really good spot by Blank over there. He stayed patient. He knew he had given his position away, and he knew that the only way that Vindicta had to come from was the platform. And he saw the outline of whoever that was and managed to just gun him down. So I mean, that was a really good. I mean, it's the minute details that makes a player good, and that's where we saw. Like I mentioned, Aries does not lack quality, but at this point of time, Vindicta is just showing so much more in terms of going into every single round. So that's something that Aries have to be careful of.
Alright, looks like we do see a fast rush coming in from Aries eSports finally, and looks like we only have Lenny to defend for himself and covering every single bases, but not being able to cover anything at that point. Shop filled with Dream Men, and looks like they won't be able to do anything at this point of time. Dark will be wielding his M4A4, and of course Dr. Pessimist just instantly sniping him out, and Styron will be the lone wolf right here, trying to get some couple of picks right onto apartments, but he's not caring about the size, not caring about anything else, just gonna look into apartments and hopefully will be able to get a nick right onto Cancer. And
that's correct, and you can see Styron here trying his best to get those shots, but he
baiting it
too.
out! Baiting it out again! And baiting it out again! And Styron is all alone and tries to get an instant headshot. Hey, that's a pretty good shot coming in from Dr. Pessimist, and he's still alive! Someone tell me how! But in the end, Hyperion going straight in with the knife, and everyone dies. Of course, that's round 15, and that's halftime already. And halftime?
No, half the map. Half the map. So we are going to the second half. We will see both teams switch side at this point in time. Vindicta will be heading into the T side, and Aries will be taking that off the CT. But at this point of time, Abstract, I just suddenly thought of a tongue twister.
Go ahead.
Alright, so okay, this is a sentence, right? I love lavishly living the nice knife life.
Wait, what?
I love lavishly living the nice knife life.
Nice knife?
Life. You know the nice knife? Like,
I love lavishly living a nice knife life.
yeah, correct. But say it really quickly. Like 3 times in a row. Like, but make it sound like articulate. I'm gonna write the sentence.
I'm gonna sound like a complete fool.
Yeah, I know, right? Because this is what
okay,
I thought.
do it.
Because you were mentioning like the gut knife.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, that was a nice knife. And then I just thought of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna write it down.
Write it down, and I will read that out as a kind of a form of entertainment. And while we are kind of stuck in this screen right here, I'm not too sure exactly what's going on, but we do have a random smile coming up right here, right onto the city side. But we will get more information very, very soon, and either way,
yeah, we will head into a short little break while Abstract tries to remember.
I don't have to remember.
I'm just you have that sentence right in front of you. So the sentence, I repeat for the viewers, is I love lavishly living the nice knife life. So good luck to Abstract while I get our producers to get the second half going.
Just so you know, he spelled life as in L-I-V-E. Who taught you English? Man! Alright, so it's gonna be I love lavishly living the nice life. That is one. But I'm just gonna go it fast. I love lavishly living the nice life. I love lavishly living the lifestyle life. I love lavishly living the life. Close enough. Very close, I would say. I thought I did a pretty good job right there. But anyways, I believe that Aris will be back very, very soon. In case you guys do not know who we are, which I highly doubt so. My name is Abstract, and with me is Aris. So do check out our social media and kind of support us. And of course, don't forget to support Proving Grounds, and of course our venue and organizer, venue and producing. We have Zenway Productions.
And I'm back, Abstract, with shamelessly plugging us in.
Of course.
But definitely do check us out. I do believe that our details will be in the description later.
What details?
But never our social.
Our
details and everything. You can find everything on Proving Grounds, Training Grounds or rather, Facebook. So that's where you can find all of our details. And if you're interested, this platform, it's a really good platform for the community. I mean, Proving Grounds started this Training Grounds. As a chance for amateur players, whether you're semi-professional, you consider professional, you consider amateur. This is an excellent platform for you to test out your skills, try out your team's coordination when it comes to a little more competitive setup. So
that's right.
It
makes a big difference, especially when if you're just trying to go for a normal scrims with another team. It's just play law, play law, play law, like that. It's,
Right,
it's,
right,
it's,
right,
it's a
right,
very
right.
simple thing. But then if you think about training grounds, it's kind of the same way as scrims. However, there is this small little element that makes things like kind of seems more important.
Right, definitely. I mean, you know, a lot of teams do well in rank, right? I mean, that's where the top players play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, generally that's where all your global elites or your guardian masters. So that's where all the players hang out. But when it comes to team, when it comes to coordination, when all 5 members of your team are global elites, what's your next challenge, right? Winning ranked games is not exactly the end. You know, you want to take part in competitions, and when it comes to competitions, it doesn't really matter about rank. You know, it matters about your team's coordination, it matters about your strategies.
You can't carry the game all by yourself, right?
Correct.
I mean, actually you can, to a certain extent. Yeah, to a very
to a certain extent, but
yeah.
but you get what I mean, right? When it comes to combat setup, you know, that's where you really better play. And this is where players can show their, you know, what their teams are really worth. And we are headed into the second half of the map, and we do see Vinita on that T side. Finally, we have the game going, and we might see a B rush over here. The flashes coming in.
Whoa, good flashes coming in, and looks like Blank just gonna be standing right here, trying to get some kills. But Myers will be able to get an easy kill around the sensor, and of course Blank going around, knifing around. Hopefully that he will be able to catch someone, but looks like the bomb is not gonna be planted. And Lolewall getting a kill right on the Blank, and he's just gonna go straight for the 3 other men that is coming very, very closely. Both of them are behind pillars, and it's gonna be the only one remaining coming in from Vindicta. I thought that, you know, he's doing it. I thought Vindicta was doing pretty well. Ares eSports just come in, souped everything up, and for some reason, Lolewall is the only one remaining, and Dr. Pessimist just ended it.
Right.
What happened
over there? With that comeback, I thought exactly like you, I thought Vindicta managed to snatch that side, but for some reason, Ares with that excellent positioning and retake. So that's what I was mentioning, right? Ares has that skills. They have the mechanical skills. It's just that was on the T side, on the CD side just now, Vindicta had a little bit of advantage in terms of rotation. So we have a 3-man push coming in from Ares. They are starting to push out their advantage over here.
And looks like he's just gonna go straight in for the MP7, but Dark will be able to successfully get that Deagle shot right on the Cancer's face. Styron doing the same thing right on the Blank, and it's gonna be a 5v2 situation. Even though Ares won the previous round, the pistols coming in from Vindicta proved to be a lot more superior, and it's gonna be left with Dr. Pessimist with the scout right onto jungle opposite of Nest. What can he do? He's gonna die.
Oh, absolutely. And Vindicta once again winning that round. It doesn't make sense whenever they're on eco, they win the round. Vindicta had that issue, you know. We saw in Mirage how they, or rather in Inferno, how they won the first round and then they gave it away to Ares. And then now once again, you know, Ares on that, or rather Vindicta was an eco and they won the round. So I don't know if it's a trend nowadays. Somehow being on eco makes you stronger in some sense.
I know,
so
right? Especially Deagle. Deagle makes a big difference. But either way, skipping right onto the game, Styron just gonna go straight in, and looks like Vindicta did manage to grab a hold onto A side for some reason. Styron goes straight in, gets a kill, and gets another one! 3 kills coming in, all of them are headshots! And he's just gonna go straight in, pushing right onto CD base. And who knows, he might be able to get some kills right on the Nyx. And unfortunately, Nyx will be able to get that kill instead, and he will be facing off against Noob.
Oh, they won the knife! And my ass gets that knife from Nyx. Just having a little bit of fun at this point of time. I don't think they mean no disrespect, they're just having a little bit of fun. So Vindicta over there getting the 14th round. However, there's 2 more rounds. I'm not sure whether Vindicta can close this out, but you can see it's all or nothing for Ares over here. They're going for the full buy, 4 farmers and all.
Yeah, they can't risk it anymore. They really have to go for a force buy, and in which case, hitting your body. That's not gonna be good. But in the end, Hyperion will be able to get a kill around the Starlight, and Mayav will be able to get a kill around the Hyperion right in mid and connector. But Mayav doing a really good job. Will be able to scout out the legs right in the ladder room and getting himself a really nice kill. There will be 2 men remaining left coming in from Ares eSports. Vindicta is pretty much on a roll right now with 1 man coming in right on the shop. But of course, Lenny will be able to finish him off. And with the final man, Nyx, right here in T slope. And I don't think that he will be able to do anything much from this point of time, as the bomb will be planted in B side, and he would possibly, and he must, save this gun. These farmers will most definitely make from a 15-4 into a 15-5. So the farmers, keep it. Definitely keep it.
Excellent. I just love hear you talking abstract. So a little bit of bro love over there, but Nick's right at the palace. Abstract, don't look at me like that.
I just
Yeah, it's a 4v1 at this point of time, but Nick's all up on his own at the alley.
Dark. He hurt Dark.
He heard
He
that,
definitely hurt Dark.
but there's no wallbang on this side of the palace. There's no way to get a kill.
Nate's got a kill on the lolly wall! And the bomb is gonna detonate and not gonna get a kill on Lenny, but he's stuck!
And
of
it's
course,
a 15-4 for Vindicta going to match point. Can anyone stop Vindicta? I guess not, unless Aries can pull off a 15-15. That's 11 rounds in a row. Right, 11 rounds in a row.
I think that Aries eSports don't really go, not really gonna go for anything else right now. But Blank with that XM shotgun, it might work. I want to see exactly how it's gonna play.
It has to work. It has to work.
I think that he's gonna play a van and just gonna hop around or something like that. But I don't think that anyone's coming in, and I think it's just probably not gonna work. But either way, we do have one man Styron coming in, and Pessimist with the headshot round the scout. Styron with the scout, and he did manage to see one guy in Palace, and I don't think that he will be able to do anything else. Myefs with the AWP, the big boy, the big daddy of the scout, and that's pretty much the daddy saying bye. And of course, Lenny is gonna be the only one remaining, and Aries eSports with the 15-5. Like how?
I have absolutely no idea. I think Lenny was just, I think Lenny was just like, you know, screw this. I'm just gonna run in with Molly. But there we have it, 5 rounds for Aries. So perhaps the 15-15 dream's still alive for me over here. But we do see that Vindicta, you know, I want to say that throughout this whole competition, they have been really, really consistent when it comes to, you know, be it performance, be it rotation. It looks like they all work with one mind, you know. They know exactly what they are doing, and the way that they rotate, the way that they execute their plans is just amazing.
Flashbang coming in right from Nest, and down he goes. And Myevs gets a kill right onto Dr. Pessimist, and just gonna go straight in with no care in the world at all. Just gonna push right onto Connector, just gonna go over to Nest right now, and boy oh boy, Myevs is in such a valuable spot right now. He can call for anywhere that he wants, but it looks like they're gonna go straight for B. Gets a kill right onto Blank. Where are they coming from? No idea, but in the end, Myevs did not clear the site properly as there was still one on bench. But does it matter in the end? Lenny gets a kill onto Hyperion, and Nyx is gonna be the only one remaining right here in high mid. Gonna slowly make his way, and Lenny with that headshot right on the Nyx. That 7.62 burst with the face.
That's wow. That was just excellent coming in for, you know, the whole team of, you know, Vindicta. You know, most of the times we see that teams generally have 1 or 2 hyper carries, but
okay,
and both Inferno and Mirage.
Yeah,
you know,
Vindicta is doing so well individually as well.
Right, every single member of the team adds certain value, or rather certain amount of kills.
Yeah.
You know, and the rotation, like I said, you know, is due to their force rotation. You know, we saw early part of the game, we saw, you know, Lenny pushing so far out that it just proved to be an issue for Aries. Every single time they want to do an A rush, you know, Lenny is right there. He's right in the alley, not allowing Aries to have an easy push. And when they decide to do it's as though Vindicta knows the map, or rather, not even the map. Heck, it's like they know Aries at the back of their hand. They know what kind of rotations they're making. So, be it whether in terms of map superiority, in terms of knowledge, in terms of rotations, in terms of mechanics, you know, we saw how well Vindicta has been performing throughout this whole game. So, be it whether or not it comes to week in, week out, that's what you want to see in a team. You want to see consistency, you want to see that you can perform at your best, you know, time and time again. And I think that's what Vindicta, you know, they really were the embodiment of what we hope in, you know, not only in international scenes, but in local scenes as well.
Well, of course, to be fair, Aries is amazingly good as well.
Absolutely.
They are consistent in their scores as well, 16-5 and 65.
Right.
So in other case, we only seen Aries eSports one game. We only saw them in one game.
Right. 1 week rather.
Yeah,
so
and the score so far, teams that are fighting against Vindicta, they are all below of 5.
Right.
5
So
rounds.
so
They can't win 5 rounds of a Vindicta.
right, I would say it's like I mentioned, right? Vindicta has been on top of their games in terms of rotations, in terms of map superiority. So I would say to all the teams, GG, well played. Don't be disheartened by this for those who did not do well. You know, but I would say to all the other teams, do come back when Training Grounds comes for season 2.
Definitely.
This is only season 1, and hopefully this will pave way for more amateurs. So heck, if you want to be a shoutcaster, you want to try out what our lives is all about, you go ahead onto Facebook, and you can go ahead onto Proving Grounds Facebook, and you can try out what is it like. It's very different. It's an experience for one in a lifetime. I think that's where Training Grounds really provides the platform, not only to players, not only to shoutcasters, but for the whole CS community. So hopefully when we have such events coming out, you can head on to Facebook, you can check out what events are coming out in the near future.
Definitely. So we have finally concluded season 1 of Training Grounds.
Right.
So of course we like to thank everyone for tuning in, and of course for everyone's support. And I'm pretty sure that everyone is like looking forward to every day, every time the game, every Thursday,
Right.
and we'll be like, oh, okay, we are looking at who versus who versus who.
Right.
And really, we really thank you a lot for your support. And of course, everything, all of this is not we couldn't have done it without you guys.
Right.
And we would like to especially thank, as the shoutcasters, we would like to especially thank Proving Grounds for organizing all of
Right,
this
definitely.
for the community.
Obviously, yeah.
Right now we don't really have much. We don't really have much CS:GO community.
Don't make us sound so famishly.
No, that's not my point.
But I get where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
At least we have something going on for the
That's
community
right,
when there's downtime. I do know that there are a couple of major events coming out for the locals in terms of competitions, but let's not jump ahead of that. But as of now, like you mentioned, we'd like to thank and congrats Vindicta for performing way and above standards that we thought they could, and to all the other players and other teams, you guys did an absolutely great job of proving that you guys can come up and try your best. So I do believe that Proving Grounds annually do host the Testament Cup. That's towards the end of the year.
December, I believe. So somewhere in December we will have Testament Cup, and not to forget season 2.
Right. So that's enough from us. If you want to know more details about everything, you can all find it in the link. There will be a link for Proving Grounds, right? Proving Grounds Facebook.
Yep.
But that's all we have for season 1. My name's Aries, and we'd like to thank obviously Abstract for casting alongside me.
Thank you too, and of course thank you very much to Zerion Productions for venue and production and that camera and this and everything.
All right, we get it. All right, but we'll see you in season 2, and thank you, right? A big thank you for all of you. So other than that, we'll see you in the next season.
See you guys. I need to eat so much.
All right, I also
really
need.
need to
Yeah,
eat.
let's go.
Yeah.